So first and foremost, I actually want to apologize for the crappy audio for this vlog. Oftentimes, whenever I do these for this secondary channel of Micah and the Hatman, I will have an idea, I will record that idea, I will make a video with me on camera and everything, and then I will end up throwing that particular video out. And I'm doing that again with this particular one. So I had seen through, I want to say it was the Distributist's Twitter account, that he liked a video by a YouTuber called Left Foot Media, which is apparently another smaller channel I need to look at too, who has similar ideas to my own, and but not 100%, and would be interesting to talk to. But anyway, the response he was doing was talking about T.J. Kirk's response to Jordan Peterson, that T.J. Kirk is going to do an audiobook called An Antidote to Order, or something like that, because he has a complete and total rejection of Jordan Peterson's ideas. Now, here's the thing. T.J. Kirk is someone that I look at alongside other nihilist atheist YouTubers, like Mundane Matt, my former friend, or Wizard of Cause, Nicholas Goroff. And I see the way that they live their lives, and they are a reflection of what I could have ended up being had I not reconverted to Christianity in my late teens. It is a frightening thing to look at. Reason being, and this is what we're going to talk about today, is what is the inevitable conclusion of nihilism. Now, nihilism has its roots in the works of Friedrich Nietzsche, but oftentimes these nihilists very rarely understand what Nietzsche is saying. On this channel, I did a dramatic reading of The Parable of the Madman, which is from The Gay Science. And I'm very familiar with Nietzsche's work. The only book of his that I have not read in completion is Beyond Good and Evil. I'm working on it right now, actually. And one thing that they don't understand about Nietzsche is that he doesn't always put really obvious value statements out there in regards to what he is saying. He's simply making observations and telling you what he's seeing. And as such, it's interesting to basically see his perception of German society at his time. And as such, you get things like the Parable of the Madman, and people seem to look at that and they think, oh, that's awesome, God is dead, goody for me, I didn't like God anyway. Parable of the Madman is a eulogy, and it is a warning on what would happen if society got rid of God. And in my opinion, we're sort of seeing that now in a lot of ways. When it comes to the UK government, for example, and this ties into the Dankula thing, and I know people that are atheists aren't going to like to hear this, but bear with me. This is actually me partially agreeing with something that Stefan Molyneux said, which doesn't happen that often. But one thing that Molyneux had said is that there are atheists out there that see government as a way to substitute God. Basically, man trying to take the role of God. And that's basically what authoritarianism tries to do. There's a reason that Marxism, possibly the single most devastating authoritarian philosophy in history, seeks to replace God and calls religion the opium of the people, or opium of the masses, or something along those lines. I don't remember the exact wording. My point is that is one thing that results from eliminating God from your society, because a lot of nations in Europe, especially England, France, and a couple others, would describe themselves as post-Christian, which I think is foolish. Nihilism as a belief system, this idea that there is no actual meaning in the world, that there is no truth to the world, that you don't have to follow society's rules, etc., etc. that you should live life as chaotically as you want to. And having that as your core philosophy, in and of itself, is abject silliness. I will say this. There is an initial sense of freedom that many will ride for years in regards to nihilistic belief. The idea that you don't have to hold yourself to anyone's standards. That you can assumedly be your own person. That sort of thing permeates and would make one's life better. I mean, you're free. You can do whatever you want. You can be a real rebel. You can eat ice cream for breakfast or smoke pot whenever you want to and blah-de-blah-de-blah. By the way, it is not a coincidence that a lot of people who embrace this idea are potheads. I kid you not. It is not a coincidence. I'm not saying pot makes you a nihilist. I'm saying that a lot of stoners, people who would self-describe as stoners, tend to be, or they're alcoholics. It's an interesting observation for me because I know exactly how this is going to end. There's a saying in my old philosophy class when I was in college, that the only true nihilist is a dead one. That's not a threat or anything. I'm not saying go kill nihilists. What it means is that if life is meaningless, if you state that, what is the logical conclusion if you continue to follow that line of thinking? Life is meaningless. The conclusion is that one should be apathetic in his approach to existence, which oddly enough, I find a lot of atheist YouTubers tend to completely forget whenever it comes to discussing social issues. On one moment they're a nihilist, and the next minute suddenly they care. Oddly enough, a good chunk of them tend to be leftist socialists, which is very strange. But then again, most people who are nihilists tend to be consistently contradictory. But if life is meaningless, and anything goes, the next step of thought, and this is the one that I had come to, and then later rejected, was, why live? Why truly live if it's all worthless? If there is no purpose to my being here? That we're all just these random things floating through the universe. And that inevitably is why I say that the logical conclusion of nihilism is death. When it comes to nihilistic belief, you will end up killing yourself in one manner or another. Maybe it's through the quick result of suicide. Maybe it's slowly through drug abuse or anything else. Maybe it's just sitting and getting fat and eating Cheetos and making nonsensical YouTube videos. But inevitably, the reality, the objective elements of this existence will catch up to you. And when that point comes, I have no doubt that many people who espouse this nihilistic lifestyle will end their lives similar to that of Oscar Wilde. Not saying that they're going to contribute anything to the arts like Oscar Wilde, but I expect this of all of them, whether it be T.J. Kirk or whether it be Dan Harmon. They will be in bed, pondering their existence, preparing to die, asking for a priest. Because at the end of the day, the objective exists, and you will never escape it, no matter how much you deny that it's there. My name is Micah Curtis. Thanks for watching. Deus Volt.